Hello everyone, it is your girl Jill Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and we're gonna get into part 2 of my disappointing products of 2021. So some of the stuff I had left at home and forgot about, and then when I went through my videos and looked through the year, I was like, oh wait, yeah, I forgot about those things. So we're gonna put them in here now, and then everyone's gonna go on with their day. Okay, thank you so much. So I'm gonna start off with the complexion things, then I'll get into the eye things, because this one is more eye heavy, because the first go round I had grabbed the majority of the complexion products I was disappointed in, but a couple of them slipped through the cracks, but not on my watch. So we're gonna start off with the Huda Beauty, what is this? Faux Filter Luminous Matte Foundation. I wear the shade Mocha 500G. I was not impressed with this foundation. If y'all remember correctly, I think I said it was just okay. It wasn't anything exceptional or special. It's like the original one, but like luminous, like they said. I don't feel like it was that matte though, and I feel like it was like really heavy and sunk into your pores and made your skin look really heavy upon further use. And when I first tried it, I liked it okay, but I still, if I remember correctly, I feel like I said the same thing, that it was kind of like heavy and cakey. And you can see it in the pores, so that's why it disappointed me, because it's like, I don't know why though, because it's like, it is like the original one, but I guess since my makeup taste has changed, that's why I wasn't impressed with it. I waited too long to return it though, so I'll probably mix it in with like one of those lightweight thinner foundations to try to thin it out and make it, you know, a little bit thinner, because it's like we paid for it, so we're gonna have to try to use it in some way. Or maybe I'll just use it like for camera to do videos for you all, and then like when I wash off my makeup for the day and I have to go anywhere, I'll use it for that. So this probably be like a filming foundation, because it looked fine on camera when I first put it on. It's just when you have to go out in public, it looks really cakey in public, but since y'all far enough away to where I can pull that off, this is gonna be a filming foundation. But it was disappointing to me just because, you know, it was really thick and it didn't, you know, and it sunk into my pores and made me look crazy. Next, I have the Chantakai Perfect Blurring Finishing Powder. And this made me mad because, like, this is so expensive and I feel like it does nothing. Like, it's really hard in the pan, so it's hard to pick up on a brush. Then when you use it, I feel like it doesn't do anything. Like, I feel like the Charlotte Tilbury one is better. The LYS one is better. The Huda Beauty Luminous one is better. I feel like there's so many other better powders than this. And the price point that they charge for this, and mind you, I bought this on sale, I think like $70-some, is outrageous for this powder. Like, this is not worth it at all. It is terrible. I was mad as hell. I paid my money. I want all my coins back. I want reparations for that makeup product, because it is just awful. And I don't see what everyone else sees. Like, what did you see? What did you see? Because I totally missed it. Now, I feel horrible talking about this brand because they don't exist anymore, but I was disappointed in this product, just like I was disappointed in the Chantakai. This is the Becca Light Shifting Finishing Veil. I have shade number 5. As you can see, it looks like it has hard pan on it, and I feel like nothing picks up on the brush. Like, you have to rub and scrub the crap out of your brush to get any product out of here. And then I feel like you don't really see it on your skin at all after you do all that. So it's like, did you press it too hard in the pan to where it won't pick up on the brush? I don't know. Or maybe mine is just hard pan, because when I was trying to use it, I feel like it never comes up. And when I do finally see something on the brush, I feel like I've been rubbing for like a good 5 minutes. And I use a flat kabuki brush with this just to kind of like tap it on, but it doesn't do anything for me. And I tried it as a finishing powder too, and I feel like it didn't do anything. Like, it serves no purpose, and it was not worth my money. I got it at 50% off, and I think I had a coupon on top of that, but I still don't think it was worth it. It just was not good to me. So the last face product I have to talk about is the V Nova Glow Highlighter in the shade Holy Chic. So the problem with this is I just feel like it's really glittery. It's not anything wrong with the formula. It's just a really super chunky, glittery, like, highlighter on the face, and it's just not a vibe for me. Because the formula of it was fine. It was just really, like, you know, excuse me, kind of chunky glitters on the skin, and I'm like, I already have like pores and texture. I don't need them emphasized by your extra glittery highlighter. Plus, I didn't like the shade of this one, but that's my fault for picking the shade, but it still doesn't change the fact that I don't like the formula of this. So it wasn't like a bad product. Like I told you in the video, it's not bad. It's just, if you like a chunky glittery highlighter, I feel like you'll like this, but I don't like the color I chose, and I didn't want to get another shade in it just because I knew it was going to be glittering. Like, you can see the glitter particles in it right there. I don't know if you all can see right there, but like, you can see the glitter part. Yeah, see how it's sparkling glitter? So it's like you already know what type it is. But I feel like when they showed it on the website, it didn't look like that, so I feel like I was deceived. Okay, so let's get into all these lovely eyeshadow palettes. But first, I'm showing with these eye crayons. These things are terrible. These are the Colourpop and the Powerpuff Girls eye crayons. Their eye crayons are not good at all. Like, I tried to rub it in to like use it as a base for a shimmery eyeshadow to give it an extra pop. It was terrible. It was hard to put on. It didn't want to blend out, so it's like you stayed stuck in one spot. These are absolutely terrible. The colors are pretty. I ended up putting mine in the waterline, but then they don't last in the waterline either. So it's like, what is the purpose of this product? Because it doesn't last in the waterline, and then it doesn't blend out when you put it on the eye in order to give a nice eye look. So I don't know what the purpose of them are, but they are absolutely terrible. Just terrible. I don't. Why, Colourpop? Why? Now I have the rest of these are literally just eyeshadow palettes. So these two Huda Obsession palettes were disappointing to me. This one works better than this one, but this one's absolute trash. This is the Khaki Haze. I bought it this year because it was on sale for I think 50% off. And now I see why it was 50% off, because this thing is terrible. Like, the color story is okay. She always managed to throw some pinks in with like neutral shadows, which I don't understand. But like, again, since I know her nudes are like my nudes and they're more mauvey and pinkish reddish toned, I guess I kind of expected that. But since this is supposed to be like a more earthy tone, I don't feel like pinks go with an earthy tone palette. But here, as you can see, she did what she always did. She put a pink in there. The color of this palette is nice. It's just I don't feel like the quality is there. Compared to the Wild Obsessions that I put in my best of video, this palette is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Now, this Wild Obsessions... Sorry, this Toffee Brown Obsessions is better than that one. But again, like, compared to the Tiger Wild Obsessions palette, this is not nearly as good. It's not terrible. It's just, I'm disappointed by it because since she's done the Wild Obsessions, now these two just look like crap. Along with like the neon collection she did, those are just bad. So it's like, these are hit and miss. I feel like by now all of us know these are hit and miss. So to me, this is a miss compared to the Wild Obsessions. Now, compared to the Khaki Haze, this is much better. But that's not saying much because that's terrible. These aren't as good as the nude collection either, like the nude rich, nude light, and nude medium. This isn't as good as those either, but it is a step above the haze. So I mean, like, rank that in your mind how you feel based upon like having tried her Obsession palettes. But this one to me fell short once I tried the other ones. It was fine till I got to try the Wild Obsessions collection. That's where she messed up, because now it's like all these other ones aren't nearly as good. Not that I thought they were that good to begin with, but you know, that just further showed me that she could do better and she was just being lazy. Anyway, next I have the Hollywood Flawless Filter Luxury Palette. It doesn't say what the name of this one is. Oh, Diva Lights. So I got this one because I think I got it for like 30%. I got it for 40% off when I bought it on Kkw Beauty. Shout out to my girl Amy, Beautydealsbff, for finding this deal. It works okay. It's just like, I feel like for the price point, this is not what it is. It made me a nice look. You know, I used these 3 shades right here, and I think I put this in the inner corner or something like that, but it just wasn't that great for what she's charging. That's why I'm disappointed by it. But it's like, I need to learn to just stop buying the quads and just stick to the long holiday palettes that she comes out with, because at least those I can work with a little bit better. With these, I always feel like it's just meh. It's just it's like, I would just give me all my money back. I don't want this. Give me all the coins back. Okay, so next I have the Nabla Cutie palette. This is the one that came out with the midnight one. This is called Analog. I was disappointed in this just because I'm like, the color story is so like back in the day. Like, this is super old. The shifting shade is really nice. So it's not necessarily quality, even though I don't like their cream to matte formula like this one right here. It worked okay. It's just, I don't know, this color story to me is just really boring. That's why I'm disappointed, because it's like, y'all came up with this cool blue awesome one, and then you came out with this, and I'm like, oh, okay. So it's not necessarily quality on this, it's just more of my color story preference. And of course, if there's a blue palette and then there's this, I'm going to pick the blue palette. So the blue palette is fire, the blue palette is bae, the blue palette is everything, and I love the blue palette compared to whatever this is supposed to be. So this was a disappointment to me, just because I feel like they could have did better with the color story. Like, they could have gave us some bright oranges, or they could have gave us something different. Like, I feel like it's just, it's lacking for me. It's lacking. Next, I have these Sugarpill capsule palettes. So I have, I don't know the name of this one. It doesn't say what the name of this one is. This is the second one. And then this is the one I came up with for Halloween. So I ended up getting this for, I think, 50% off during their Black Friday sale. And this color story intrigued me. But like, I don't know, the mattes to me in here don't perform as well as I feel like they should. Like, I always feel like when I put them on, they look fine. But then they like fade away. Like, the pigmentation on these to me don't last, and that's my problem with this, because it's not like they don't make good color stories. Like, I like the color story of this. The shimmer in here is really nice. Like this blue shimmer I put on my lower lash line, and it lasted really long and did really nice. It's just, y'all supposed to be known for having these colorful and fun color stories, but I feel like the colors always fade away. And it's like I use white pigmented bases, as you all already know. So it's like the fact that the color isn't lasting, it's like, what am I buying you for? Because it's like there's other brands that have better color, that have color storage just as nice as yours, and the pigmentation lasts. So same thing with this one. Like I feel like this yellow didn't last that long for me. I feel like this unique sort of shade here wasn't that great. I haven't tried the blush, but like from what I tried in these, I always feel let down by Sugarpill, and I'm like, why do people like them so much? Because I feel like the pigmentation doesn't last. Maybe the pigmentation doesn't last for people my skin tone, and that's why I'm disappointed. But I always feel like the pigmentation is just lacking when it comes to them. I'm just like, oh, okay, why do people like this again? Because the pigmentation is not giving compared to all the stuff that's out now. Maybe for the time when they first came out, when I first came to YouTube and people were talking about those huge palettes that made from them, they're really popular, they were like doing it then, and they were big stuff then. But it's like now it's just, you know, I'm not impressed at all. Oh, the Tinkerbell liner from the ColourPop and Tinkerbell collection was very disappointing. This one didn't really show up underneath the waterline at all. I was like, what is the purpose? Why? It did not do a good job at all. It and those other lines I told you about were not good. Now, I haven't tried their eyeshadow primer yet. I did get it for Christmas though from one of my friends. I want to do a haul on all the stuff I got for Christmas, so I'm waiting for the rest of the stuff to show up. My friend said it hadn't all mailed to her house yet, so that's why you all haven't seen it. But yeah, another disappointment was this Cover FX, what is this, Custom Enhancer palette. It has Candlelight, Sunlight, and Blossom. So the shade Blossom, of course, I don't even try to use. It might be good as a blush topper. I don't know. If to me it looks like it'll be ashy. I know the shade Sunlight seems a little ashy to me. The only one I can use is Candlelight. And then these are really like chunky, glittery looking highlighters. So I thought they were going to blend out smoothly, because Kathleen Light said they blend out smoothly for her. But for me, they did not. They just looked like huge, chunky glitters, what they were. So I was disappointed in this palette. I know it just came to Ulta this year, which is why I was talking about it. I think I actually got this early in the year from their website when they had a sale, since Kathleen was raving about it, but I was greatly disappointed in it. To me, it just showed like the texture on my skin. It just made me look like I had huge glitter particles that fell off from when I did my eyeshadow, and I wiped them off on my face instead of me trying to like remove the product. So no. Okay, so these Shady Glow neon liners, I was disappointed by these just because the brush tip on them is terrible. Like, it's this weird little thin flimsy tip I absolutely hate. Like, when you go to make a line with it, like, it either like jumbles up, it's really patchy, and then it like skips when you put it on. So these are disappointing because of that. And then when I try to put them on a brush, like, it still skips. So I don't know if the formula is too watery and that's why they skip or whatever, because as you can see, they have some gorgeous colors that keep falling out of my hand. Jesus. They have gorgeous colors, as you can see, but it's just like they always skipping, and I think that's just so disappointing, because it's like I wanted to use these and try these out. As you can see, I bought the whole set because they are really pretty, and y'all know I live for color, but like they just too patchy, and the sticks are too flimsy, so that's why they're disappointing brought up for me. So I'm gonna start off with this Kkw Beauty Palette. This is called Crystallized. When she had a sale and was going out of business, I wanted to get some of her older palettes, so that way when her new line came out, I could like compare them to the new line. Even though I said I didn't want to necessarily buy from the brand anymore, when it was like $5 or $10, I was like, I'll go ahead and get it, because when she comes back with new stuff, you want to be able to have the newest thing she came out with before she left to compare to see if the formulas had changed. So I got this one. I was totally disappointed by it. It has this cool unique shade right here, and it had a few like deeper tones. I was basically, y'all know about this bottom row and this shade. I don't really care about the top row, but it was disappointing. It took a lot to make a halfway decent look, and I feel like it shouldn't have took that much to make the look, because it wasn't like I made a truly difficult look. I literally just put like this on the outer V to darken it up. I think I dusted this through the crease, and then I just tried to put this all over the lid. And I think I put this on the outer V, and it took like so long to make this look, till I was just like, it shouldn't take this long to make this look and blend this out to make it look this nice for the price that she was charging for these palettes originally. Imagine, like I said, I think I paid like $10 for this palette, and still for $10 I was like, no, Like I could have got a $10 ColourPop palette that I feel like would have performed better. Like the That's Taupe palette, I feel like would have performed better than this, and it's like I think $12 or something. But so I was just like, yeah, no. So that was totally disappointing. But you know, like I said, I just got it for her in the future when she comes out with new stuff. Just like with Kylie, when she comes out with a color palette that I'm interested in, I'll compare it to her older shadows. So that's why I have one older palette left from her in order to compare the palettes. But it seems like people ain't really caring about the brand no more, so I'm trying to debate if I should declutter them or not and just put them on Poshmark where somebody else can buy them, because they don't seem like people really riding or vibing with their brand anymore when it comes to like the YouTube space. And if they're not, then it's not something I need to hold in my collection, because as y'all know, we trying to move up out of here. So every week I'm trying to go through and grab stuff to declutter. I actually have a whole nother bag over there of stuff to declutter, so y'all see another declutter video coming soon. I'm gonna try to make it the last declutter video of 2020, so I need to go through the rest of my stuff when I'm done filming this. And then I have a bag full of stuff to declutter. I'll say one more for 2021, and then that's it. But next, I have the Millennium Pinks palette. So I did buy this year. If y'all remember when I bought the Mariposa palette, I bought this because it was on sale for 25 bucks. And I was like, well, I want to see what the formula is about. Worst come worst, I figured the mattes would still be good, even if the shimmers weren't that shimmery and exciting, and I could just like put the mattes into other palettes that I have, since theirs are removable, like the MAC ones and the not MAC, like the ColourPop ones and the Menagerie ones. And I like palettes where I can remove them and move stuff around to make my own color stories, because I'm trying to get, I'm more like getting into the UOMA Beauty side of it, where it's like I get to make my own palette custom, and I do that a lot with ColourPop. So I was like, when Melt comes out with one for a good deal, I'll go ahead and get it and try it out. And this is definitely one of those that I'm gonna have to use that. Now I will say this Modern Love shade is really nice. It blended out really nice. It was really nice. I was just disappointed in the shimmers with this mainly. Like this one called Pink Noise, it gave me a really nice shimmer on the lid. You all haven't seen that look yet, but they have nice shifts to them. It's just like the pigmentation is just lacking. So it's like if you put this on top of another shade that is pigmented, it'll work well. But it's like, I feel like for the original price they were charging for this, which I think is like $48. Is this one was $48 or $58 ones? I feel like for that price, I should be getting more than what I'm getting with this. Now I haven't tried the gray or this navy bluish black yet, so I haven't tried any of these three shades right here that are darker. I only stuck to like the pinkish shades, so I'm going to see how they were going to work, since it was supposed to be a Valentine's Day palette. But I was disappointed with it, like everybody else was disappointed with it. Not enough to return it though, because I'm like, I can use it as singles to go in other melt palettes and make other melt palettes to my liking. Like I'm thinking about taking some of these shades out and putting them in my blueprint palette, because if y'all remember, I told you with the blueprint palette I don't like, and it has so many browns, so I'm figuring I can take a couple of these shades out and maybe this one out and make it more of a like deeper, grungier, like navyish, blue, grayish type palette. So that's another reason I got it, because worst came to worst, I knew I could take the mattes out and put it in that palette. So to me, this is just like a single palette, and for 25 bucks I wasn't gonna pass it up. I'm glad I didn't get it at Sephora, because they're still trying to charge 40 bucks for that palette, even though like it's not worth that at all. It is not. Next, I have Juicy Boost. So I love the color story of this. I just felt like the shimmer in here that I hate the most is this one right here, the Sweet Ruby. Oh my god, the shimmer is terrible. Oh crap, I dug my finger, so I'll let you see that this shimmer is nice. See, this shimmer is nice. The shimmers in here are fine. It's just more of like the mattes don't blend as easily as they used to. I still do like the mattes in here. It's just that pink shimmer in here that makes it horrible for me. The mattes don't blend as easy as they used to be though, and they aren't as what do you call them, as well, blendable as they used to be. So that makes it more difficult to work with, which makes you not want to work with it as much. I need to take it home and use it again though, just to see, because again, I need to declutter stuff, and if this ain't gonna be it, then I need to let it go. But at the same time, I want to keep it, because I can show the new formula versus the old formula. And if they come out with some newer palettes, I want to see if the formula is going to be better than this. So that's halfway why I'm holding on to it. But at the same time, I'm like, this is not what it used to be. So when they tried to go vegan, I feel like that's what messed up their formula, and now people are not excited, and they haven't really come up with much of anything. They came out with some little palettes just recently now, but I'm like, I didn't really see anybody checking for them. The color stories was nice, but it's like it's colors I already have, and you know, they're usually known for having fun, unique colors, and that just wasn't it. So I'm just like, I mean, the new one just isn't that exciting to me, so I passed on it. But I am still checking for Colored Rain. I'm just hoping they can recover from that palette I just showed you, because it was really disappointing to all us Colored Rain fans. The last two palettes I have to talk about are ColourPop. So I feel bad because I had my friend buy this one for me for my birthday this year. This is the very first big palette they came out with besides Kathleen Lights. This is the first one they came out with. They curated on their own. It's called It's All Good. Now, please remember, I do curate my ColourPop palettes like I just talked about. So mine isn't going to look the way it's actually supposed to look. Just be advised about that. And I still don't like the way it performs after that. So I added some purples to it. Because remember, I told y'all my Lie Like You a Lot and my It's My Pleasure broke when I was filming my ranking out my ColourPop palettes video. So that's where this purple came from and this purple came from. Either Lie Like You a Lot or It's My Pleasure. I don't know which one. I don't remember. But I took this shade, I believe, from, what's that girl's name? The She palette from Kkw. And I grabbed colors from different palettes to make this palette. And I still don't like the way these shadows perform. So that's why I'm disappointed in this palette. I know it didn't come out this year, but it's like, it's sad that I've curated a color story to make a better color story for my personal taste, and I still don't like the way the palette performs. So I feel like that means it's the shadows in here that aren't performing as well as the other ones. Like, because a Mood palette performs fine, so does the Play It Jewel palette. It's just these two palettes to me aren't that great. Now this one, I don't think I curated again after I did the first time. So this is what it looks like. Again, I told you all my palettes don't look the way they're supposed to. I added this one from the Aura and Out palette. I think this is from Aura and Out as well. I'm pretty sure this is from Meant to Be or It's My Pleasure. I know this one is from Meant to Be. And so this is what mine looks like. To me, this is, and somebody said it best, they were like, this is a giant version of the Kathleen Lights Dream Street palette. And it is. I just added some fun pops of color to mine because I wasn't necessarily feeling the way it looks. But I still don't like the way this performs. I feel like Kathleen's palette performs better than this one, in my personal opinion. Or maybe I just feel like there are too many colors in here that are similar in tone, and that's why it's not impressive to me. But I don't feel like the formula on this one or the It's All Good palette performs the same way as the It's Mood and Play It Jewel do. But those have been out for longer, so that, I mean, those have been out for longer, and they probably improved the formula over time. The more of them they sold, the more money they had together for those particular palettes for that project. So that might be why. I don't know. But those two are not hitting it. They are not it. It's not a vibe. I'm not going to declutter them though, because like it's a You're Golden I bought myself for 15 bucks off Poshmark. So it could just be that, you know, it might not be a real palette. People like to sell fake stuff on there. Not to say that seller sold me a fake one. I feel like it is real. It feels like ColourPop quality. It just feels like the subpar ColourPop quality as opposed to like the Lush Life palette and the Limoncello and the quality of those palettes. And the It's All Good palette, I know my friend bought from ColourPop. So I feel like sometimes when they come up with their first palette, they don't like do the best. And then they just come up with better formulas over time. So yeah, but those are all my disappointing products volume 2. I was eyeshadow palette heavy in this portion of the video just because, you know, I hadn't given y'all a lot of eyeshadows in the first one from what I remember. But anyway, those are all the disappointing products I tried in 2021 volume 2. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, y'all are diamonds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye. I gotta go to the color some more makeup.